This is how I turn the water on at my house.
First thing in the morning, Dan Cunningham goes outside to turn the water on so he can shower and fill a cooler over his kitchen sink for hand washing and drinking.
And turn the water on. And then I have to come back out when I'm done with the water and turn it off.
That's how it goes throughout the day and night. On again, off again, repeat.
It's just a constant hassle. I'm trying to be a good citizen and not waste 1,000 gallons of water a day.
In June 2024, the Water District detected a leak at the home Dan rents on Magic Moon Lane near Sahara and Jones. They sent him a notice of continuous flow and provided graphs of the amount of water being lost. What was your normal water bill before the leak?
$35.
$35 a month for 10 years.
It's always stayed about the same.
At first, it spiked to $60. Then the leak got worse, and so did his bill.
And there was 2 months at $180. I notified the property manager, and they did nothing.
According to Dan's lease,
Landlord shall be responsible for all systems, including heating, cooling, electrical, plumbing, and sewer lines.
Eventually, the property manager did send out plumbers who determined the leak was underground and that they'd have to dig up the front yard to find it. But they're telling you they're going to increase your rent to cover the cost of the repair? An increase of $200 per month for an estimated $3,000 repair bill.
That is absolutely outrageous.
Attorney Jordan Savage is with the housing team at Legal Aid Center of Southern Nevada.
Any problems with a system that are caused by normal wear and tear and not caused by the tenant are always the landlord's responsibility. So for this landlord not to have stepped up and immediately fixed the problem at no charge to the tenant is an outrageous abuse of the tenant's rights in this case.
After multiple attempts to reach the homeowner, I finally heard back from the property manager, who sent me this email blaming Dan for not following the steps they laid out for him.
They actually requested that I contact the HOA and get permission to dig the front yard up. I'm a tenant. I have no rights here.
In that regard, he's right, as the HOA confirmed in an email to him saying, since you are a tenant, I have to go through the owner first. It's the property owner's property. It's the property owner's pipe. It's the property owner's responsibility, not only to you, but to the environment of Southern Nevada.
I agree that this seems like a crime.
So what are a tenant's options in a situation like this? Legal Aid tells me if it's an essential service like power, air conditioning, or water, you have to notify the landlord. They recommend using certified mail, and then the landlord has 48 hours to make reasonable efforts to fix the problem. If they don't, the tenant can withhold rent.
I don't want to allow the broker to give me an eviction notice when I've done nothing wrong. I pay my rent for 10 years.
So he went to court to get paperwork outlining what other options he had. Terminate your lease and move on.
Yeah.
Sue your landlord.
Yeah, there's no choices there. Those are not, this doesn't work for a family.
The other option?
You could do the repair yourself and deduct it from the rent, withhold that from the rent, and then bring it to court in that way as well.
But there's no guarantee you'll win in court. Savage says it's at best a calculated risk and an intimidating process many tenants can't afford. Fed up and feeling stuck, Dan sent a demand letter to his landlord.
And then I finally got a notice that they're not going to renew my lease this time. They renewed my lease in January, and this was a known defect at that time. It's 8 months later and they haven't fixed it.
Savage says Nevada laws are partly to blame.
That's a real big problem and a real reason why we need new laws that better protect tenants for exactly this situation.
A lot of burden on the tenant, not a lot of accountability or forcing fixes on the landlord in the law.
I couldn't say it better myself.
In this year's legislative session, Governor Joe Lombardo vetoed several tenants' rights bills passed by the legislature, including measures that would have revised court processes for unresponsive landlords, required disclosure of all fees, and reformed eviction proceedings. This marked the second legislative session in a row that Lombardo blocked tenant-friendly housing reforms, citing concerns that the bills would destabilize Nevada's rental market.
It is an ongoing problem. and the system is stacked against the tenant.
Knowing the end was coming, Dan chose to leave his lease early. He's moving out of the home he's lived in for a decade, hoping to have better luck with a new landlord. The Water District is quick to hit all of us with excessive use fees, so I asked them why they couldn't just fine the landlord for failing to fix the leak. They told me it's not that simple. What they can do in extreme cases like this is take the water bill out of the tenant's name and put it into the property owner's name, and they would have done that for Dan, but since he's not staying in the property, the Water District has flagged the property address to make sure the same thing can't happen to the next tenant. I'm Darcy Spears, telling you what's the deal.